Hello marketers, I'm Toby Murdock, CEO of Kapost, and I'm here to talk to you about Kapost and how it relates to CMSs, or content management systems, and helps complement them with the marketing challenge of dealing with digital multi-channel marketing. So we'll start our story with a bit of history and how we all got going as marketers going online. And our first channel was our website. That's where we began. And so the system or the tool that we used to go online and to be digital was known as your content management system, your CMS. It was also called Web Content Management, WCM. But back in those days when you were creating content and putting it online, you were putting it on your website. So the system that handled all of your online content was your CMS. Your entire content management system revolved around your website. And that's what those tools do. They focus on managing very sophisticated, complex websites. But things changed, and our digital marketing got more sophisticated than just a website. We started to being able to go through new channels as new technologies developed. We started having email to reach our customers, video, social, web advertising, blogs, SlideShare, landing pages, communities. It goes on and on and on. And as technology proliferated, there was a need for us to be in all of these different channels. Now, what all these channels have in common is that they all require content. They all feed on content. And what's typically happened is to feed all of these channels, different siloed teams own each of these channels, and each of these silos produce content in their own fragmented one-off way. So this has bad consequences. It makes it so that there's a lot of chaos internally. Teams are creating duplicative content, misaligned content. There's tons of waste and replication in what's done. It's not at all an efficient way to go about the content problem internally. And furthermore, it creates external issues and external chaos. Different messages are being given to the buyer through these different channels that are all operating on a siloed basis. So the buyer or the customer is receiving different, often confusing messages, and they're left confused as to what you're all about as you as a vendor trying to bring your message to market. In addition to these digital channels, B2B marketers have even more channels, traditional offline or human channels like events, your sales team, and your post-sales support team. And in the age of the customer, there's even greater content demand for these folks. Sales teams now have to act, as an example, as content concierge and always being able to supply the right digital content to their buyer at different stages of the buyer's journey. So these offline human channels are also really hungry for content, and they too face this same dynamic of siloed teams developing to support them, creating internal and greater external chaos as well. Kapost as a content marketing platform sits behind all of these channels. And whereas today we're creating internal chaos and external chaos through feeding content to these channels in a one-off siloed way, with Kapost you're able to create once and publish everywhere. So the content, instead of feeding these channels on one-off, you create singular integrated campaigns that reuse content so that you can feed all of these digital channels simultaneously. And what does that result in? That results in much more reduced internal chaos, right? So you operate with much greater efficiency internally. People are aware of what other teams are doing. They're reusing content. Everyone can find the content that they've created so that everyone can use it. And you're providing a much more consistent, aligned, and thus more effective customer experience externally, where the message that is being delivered through all these channels is more consistent. Thanks for joining me today. We look forward to continuing the conversation with you as you look to take on the challenges of digital marketing.